After Elden comes down from his crowd surf, just pick a pose that's in love with Elden. So it's just really cool to see all of our guys falling in love, in shock and disbelief at how amazing Elden is. It's pretty funny.
We were in the back and he's like, oh, can I try my trick? And I was like, what trick?
What is up, everyone? Scott Forsyth here, co-director of Vancouver Brotherhood.
Hey, I can't say hi normally now. Hey, I'm Adrian Vendiola and this is Winners Replay.
Brought to you by Honda Stage. Honda Stage is the brand's flagship platform that celebrates music, culture, and emerging artists. Thank you, Honda, for partnering with IDL to make this possible. I am a millennial and I grew up in the boy band era, and so this one was really close to my heart. I grew up listening to this type of music. However, Brotherhood is made up of both millennials as well as more Gen Zs, and so it was a really fun and interesting process educating the Gen Zs on the boy band era. It was a really special one to put together and really happy the way that it turned out. Yeah, so this intro was created and blocked by both Alo Galetto and Michael DeLeva. Kind of gave the idea that we had talked about of the risers here, and then really left it open to them for interpretation on how we would get to our next spots. They were also millennials, so really played into staging what it would look like if Brotherhood was a boy band right from the get-go. Also, fun fact, this was actually the first time this trick occurred. We had Dayton, Elden, and Ryan here. Full trust in them. I asked them if it was possible to flip off of people's backs. They said sure, but given the tight timeline between New York and Vancouver, we didn't really have an opportunity to practice this a lot. So Tech was the first time that they actually did these flips, and this was the second time.
We really wanted to play up the whole boy band vibe, so we had the musical artist, person center, really trying to go for it a little bit more, and then everybody else just as like backup dancers, dancing a little more clean.
It was also really fun to play around with complementary choreo for this set. Oftentimes with complementary choreo, we're just trying to find a way not to be too distracting from what is happening on the other side of stage. But with this concept in particular, we wanted to find ways to still keep the boy band era. We're still trying to keep the groove going and feeling like we are very much acting as quote unquote backup to the main group that's dancing. Also, shout outs to Adrian. He pre-blocked this entire set before any of the choreo was taught to the boys. Because we were on such a tight turnaround from New York, this was the only way that we knew we'd be able to get it done. And he is a blocking wizard. This big beauty right here. Fun fact about Justin, he grew up in a city a little outside of Vancouver and really looked up to Brotherhood for years when he was like 13, 14, and then he moved to Vancouver and he joined our competitive teams at the studio and he just put in the work and now he's on Brotherhood. And so that's a really cool full circle moment that now is he not only on Brotherhood, but he was able to choreograph part of our sets. Really special. I choreographed this chorus as the first choreography of the whole set. I just love this song so much. I grew up listening to it. I believe is from this artist one of their greatest hits. Fight me in the comments. And it just felt natural that it was New Jack for the chorus. We wanted to tribute the era that this song came out and felt like it was a perfect fit, and it's just so fun. But it's extremely tiring, so trying to clean this in studio, you can't mark New Jack, you have to go full out. So this was a fun one to clean. Boom, then we move over into our popping section over here, led by the one and only Angelo Admana. Some deep lore here, Angelo actually started out as a popper. His popping technique is actually insane. We decided to give him this section. I think he was really honored by this because it almost was him getting to go back to his roots and how he started out dancing as well. And he's just so frickin' talented. Not just the choreography and his execution, but he came up with the visuals, the blocking, the musicality. He really knows what he's talking about, and it was really cool to see that he put this together in literally one practice.
Ryan, our star locker, has been dying to do a locking set for the past like 2 years. He was really excited for the section, killed it. So happy that he got to do that. Oh yeah, right here. Spin, jump split. Did not know he was gonna do that. We were in the back and he's like, oh, can I try my trick? And I was like, what trick? And then he spun around, did a jump into the split, right into the choreography. I was like, wow, that is impressive. Didn't know, killed it. Thank you so much for your services, sir.
As a director, I think it was also really special in this set to see that it doesn't always have to rest on the director's shoulders, but that we were able to incorporate more of our guys into the creative process. And I think that's what is so strong about Brotherhood, is we all have so many strengths that we bring to the table, and together we can build something that's really special. And then this next section was choreographed with John Ray as well as Adrian, but this is our Mr. Boy Band himself, living his best life over here, as he should. You know who he is, John Ray, the legend.
We really want to create the choreography to be a little bit more choreography vibes, lots of angles, lots of strong shapes, and a quick highlight for him, so he killed that right here. Bang! Yeah!
All right, and time for my favorite part. So this one was actually tricky. When we were building the set, we knew there was something missing. It's something that really made this a Brotherhood set. We were having a really hard time in finding where does it fit in the set. We didn't really want to force it. And so we didn't know, was it gonna be stage left? Was it gonna be stage right? How would we make sure that it's still highlighted if we had a group over here doing some choreography and then we had a band basically section over here? That might be too distracting, so that didn't work. Then we thought about like, okay, well, what if we wanted to be the center focal point? So what if these dancers right here form the band? But then the awkward part is you see them setting up into the positions, and we didn't want that. So we finally found a way to make it work, which was to have a reveal in the back. We still wanted to find a way, how could we really hit home the fact that this is a boy band set and that we're playing instruments. And so we decided, let's just use ourselves. So you'll see here, we've got Michael DeLeva being the main singer here with Ryan's foot as a microphone. For those that don't know, Michael is actually an incredible singer, but even better at lip syncing. And then over here we've got Elden playing Chris as a guitar. That was a funny one to build. Chris is literally on his hands hitting a freeze and Elden playing him as a guitar. And then my personal favorite is the drum kit. I grew up playing drums and I thought, you know what, let's make a drum kit with Brotherhood. Let's see if we get... All right, so we've got Randall here who is playing the drums. He's sitting on, oh, this is so funny. You can see Ryan's face, that's awesome. So there's the microphone. We've got Randall playing the drums. He's sitting on Miguel, who's his chair. And then we also have Eli as the hi-hat here, which is pretty funny if you just watch his head. It's just hitting those hi-hats, which is amazing. And then we've got Alo Galetto as the snare drum. More specifically, his bum as the drum. And then we've got Adrian Vendiola as the kick drum.
Look at this awesome view of me, though. You're welcome.
It's just so good because they had to memorize their instrument for this part and they had to memorize the rhythm of it. So it was pretty cool to put that together. And literally as soon as we did it the first time, I knew we had to include it. And that's probably my favorite part of the entire set. This was a super fun part. Obviously Elden is a superstar and we got to give him the treatment that everyone gives Elden. And so we got to be the biggest Elden fans, which we obviously are, but we got to scream for him and reach after him, which was actually pretty fun.
Create a platform for him to create essentially a stage on the stage, and we are acting as the many fans that Elden has, and we're just dying for his attention here. We're going through. He blows a kiss, and we flower out and we catch him. So he does a little crowd surf there. Really fun fact, we originally had him walking across all the way through for the last 8 count there, but we felt like after we watched it at Tech, it was a little stagnant. So the day of the competition, because we had the audience here, we thought for him to go forward instead and create a little crowd surf moment. And then we knew that he needed to land here, and I knew that he also wanted to do a trick. So we allowed that to kind of come around through to the front. He comes around this way and then does his trick here right into the choreography. So we'll kind of see that happen.
After Elden comes down from his crowd surf, just pick a pose that's in love with Elden. So it's just really cool to see all of our guys falling in love, in shock and disbelief at how amazing Elden is. It's pretty funny.
Boom, lands the choreography, double axel, slide. Come on, come on.
As a choreographer, sometimes when you listen to a song, there's a rare chance for myself specifically that you hear a visual or a stage movement. Choreography across the stage in 2 diagonals, starting on one side and moving across the stage and picking up dancers as they went. Not sure where that came from, but I told Adrian, we just really need to keep this one part. And he said, yeah, let's do it, because he was in charge of all blocking. So it was cool that it actually worked.
We took a formation first approach to this set. We normally create choreography first, see how it looks on people. We didn't have the time for that. We didn't have the luxury of that. So we went for it. We're really excited to explore this new method for us.
This fit is crazy, bro. I felt so wild. This really brought me back to like grade 6, grade 7. This just felt very full circle. 10 years old, this is actually what I look like just without the beard. Dude, we are so messy. So tired. We were at the studio till the night before, finishing the set. I've never been more stressed to forget choreo. There was actually a moment here where it's my own freaking choreography. I didn't blank, but I missed like an angle. I missed that angle, and then I was like, holy smokes, I need to like pull it back for a second to really make sure I don't like completely blank. And that's just what happens when you don't have the choreo for longer than like 2 days in your brain. Definitely stressful, but I'm glad that we were able to pull it off, but very stressful. Yeah, I just wanted to end it off on a double spin because I've just seen that on stage so many times from musical artists. But that was a risk too, because we're exhausted after round 1. And then this last final move here, for those that know, every time they did this song, they say, I want you back. And there was like a little double entendre play on words. And then it was cool too, because it revealed our last name and our jersey number. So I thought it was the best way to cap off the set. Thank you so much for watching, and really excited to see you at the next IDL event.
And thank you to Honda Stage for making this possible.